Hey, welcome to the Pantheon episode number 4. That's right. We've made it all the way to the 4th episode of the Pantheon. We got a special guest today. It's Scar, my buddy. What's up? What's up, Bobby? And we thought it would be appropriate to bring Bobby here along for just a little retrospective, if you will, a little tier list making of the most iconic upsets in Melee history. So what we're gonna do is we are going to basically just put them in a tier list, and then at the very end we're gonna take the best one, like the most iconic upset that we think has ever happened, and induct it into the Pantheon. I should ask you guys, Bobby and PP, what makes a great upset?
Yeah. Something I was thinking about for upsets. I think there are probably two factors I'm looking for. One, the person getting upset, how indomitable did they look at the time? Because that's going to be part of what makes it, surprising. Like, oh, they were just beating everyone, or they were just winning a lot of tournaments, or whatever. And then the other part is there a head-to-head between the two people? Were they beating this other person a lot?
Yeah.
So it was even more surprising. So those are kind of some factors I'm going to be considering, because some of these people may have never played before, or it might have been a long time in between when they played. But the more surprising I think it is, and maybe even, how much it defines a narrative could even be a factor. But that's kind of what I'm considering when I go in here.
The surprise level, I think, is big. An upset should make you feel like you need to run out and just tell the world.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at our first upset of the day.
We have Magi beating Mango at Genesis 6.
Oh my god.
That's a
They're
pretty
just
good one.
daring each other's shield. Mango gets the dare. Opposite tech, ledge dash, insane composure.
Double jumps. Oh
Oh
no!
my god. Oh my god.
Oh!
He goes out and
I
jumps.
forgot that it was.
What?
And
Oh, that was
that's
such a
it!
good read.
Magi with an insane
When was this?
upset. It's not an ice climber.
Genesis 6, so this would have been like...
And that's Ludwig's commentating
Mango
for free,
into
right?
Falco-
He's not,
Falco
he's just showing up, happy
It's
to be there.
another Spacey that knocks Mango
It's Lud and
out of
Slime.
pool.
No, this one was big, for sure. Obviously, in terms of like disparities between the person who's like supposed to win and the next person. I mean, I know Magi got ranked top 100, but wasn't Magi not top 100 when this happened? This was.
I think so.
wild.
Yeah.
And, Mango would drop sets here and there to, Mango dropped a set to, some
Right.
Icy's guy, right? But, like, this
Right.
was a Falco ditto.
Yeah. He beat Falcos for so long. So this was, very unusual. And I think he did fine the rest of the tournament, if I remember right. So it was...
Yeah, he went on a warpath in losers. He beat a lot of people, starting with me.
Oh, dear.
I had the loser of this set. Yeah, this is up there. This is super memorable. And it's always hard to do. When we do these, it's really hard to do the first one.
I would say I don't remember that happening, so I can't really speak to the memorability of it. In fact, I would say that's a demerit.
Okay.
And I would say that Mango is one of the more upsettable players, so for me, I would not
True.
be surprised to hear this,
So between S,
In a
A, B,
Falco
C,
ditto, though?
D, and F.
That's a lot of letters. I mean,
ditto.
if I think like 1 to 5, I usually will. Average is going to be a 5. So I give this. I put this in C tier.
Okay.
C. I'm gonna go all the way up to A.
There you
I'm gonna say
go.
all the way up to A. And the reason I say A is I think the matchup matters. Who was the last Falco that beat Mango unexpectedly? Was it you, BP?
I think
Literally.
Wes might have
Oh,
gotten
Wes,
one.
yeah. Wes
Wes
might have
got
gotten one at some point.
I think he did.
All right, fine. B then. Whatever.
I'm down
Don't let me
to
tell you
settle on
down.
B. B's fine with me. I'm okay. And we can always come back, but I think B's okay for now.
We can come back.
I guess I got to be bad cop.
Bad God.
We're
That's
here for that,
definitely-
Scar.
That's a,
We're here.
that's a
You
C.
add, you're
That's
adding a
C
lot
at
here.
most.
All right, we
Hey,
got
I
Hobby
was
over
here.
PPMD, Apex.
Hey, I saw this one.
It's not over. PP, don't be that Falco that goes to the ledge and gets shined off.
Yeah.
Don't be him.
Don't be that
Well,
guy.
at least that didn't happen.
I'll be trying to run him over there.
Oh God, he didn't run far enough. This was a very
Out of,
scrappy
shine bear out of shield, something to that effect. with
last
Hobby
stock.
off.
I remember.
However, he's in trouble right now. Over by
Oh,
the ledge.
God.
Freeze frame up smash. Whoa!
Please tell me.
Hobby,
If I
tell
recall,
me
you had a
you cut
pretty
it off early.
significant.
No, don't get the controller.
the U.S.
Flip.
crowd has turned.
God dang
I
it.
like the flip.
Hey man,
Anyway.
sometimes you lose in such a way that what was going on through your head at the time? What were you upset? You feel you're upset about?
I was just.
Your heart was beating way
Well-
too fast at the time, I bet, and you had a ton of adrenaline in your system.
Right, and I,
Listen,
was
the fact
very
that
sad
you
about
kept
the loss.
the fact that you kept that toss to a little gentle flip, and I honestly props to you for that. I think that could have been a little more violent.
It's weird to rank this for me, but I know this. People talked about this one for years, So I think that's at least A, maybe S.
This is an A,
but
maybe yes. Yeah.
It's an A.
I'm not here to say what it is or isn't. It is me, so I don't really think I could be super objective about it. So whatever you guys want to do, I'm down to go.
Yeah.
with from there.
Here's the thing.
I'll give it a solid A.
I'm starting to suspect that we should. Well, okay. I from a rubric perspective, I'm wondering if S is going to end up meaning, like, what's an S? Is S like earth-shattering?
An S for me is like, this is just so surprising and it changes so much for people and like a lot of narratives, and maybe people just thought about the game differently, about the players really differently for like a while after.
The Armada thing, right? The Armada thing. It's got to be about almost more than just the set. Like, it's got to be about the implications of a matchup, or about, like Bobby, you said, a region. So this is so Javi PP is a bonkers upset, but and yeah, you know, for people like Oscar, it was an earth-shattering, matchup-changing revelation, but not quite S. Not quite S. So I think A.
No, I would give it a solid A. Javi was hyped up as a player. You know, he was, as a player going into it, I don't think people would have said that he was like, you know, that it was 90-10 PPMD was going to win it, because there were Javi believers, you know? So I felt like he was a top player, and on any given day he could, you know, he could be good people. I remember it being really surprising when it happened, and I remember being in the venue and being like, no way, it's not going to happen. So I would definitely give it an A. Memorable.
Melee.
Hey,
I do love
yes,
Cage.
I
K-word.
believe that this is a double elimination. Does anybody remember?
It is.
Yeah,
Okay,
double M.
and the footage that you absolutely must use, I'm so sorry to break it to you, is from the second set, where Mango plays
first
Captain.
set.
It's one of my. This is the first set. I know
This
that
is
it's
the
the
first
first. It has to be the first set
Yeah,
because
because the other
second
ones that
set,
Mango quits out.
when he 4Bs with Captain Falcon, he gets stomped at 0 by Ganon. And he just 0%, and he quits out as soon as the stomp hits. You
It's
need
so
to use that
funny.
footage. This
Because
is a
he's
huge
so
upset.
over it. He's
Huge
so over
upset,
it.
and the emotion with which it ended, you know, especially because Kage beat him in winners, and it's like, all right, losers, you know, Mango's gonna make the losers run or whatever, and he just gets smacked again by Kage.
This is S for me. This is
S.
this. People talked about this for so long.
I still talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it made Mango look touchable when he just basically wasn't looking that way for a long time, and then this was huge for Ganon. Like everyone was so sure that this was just going to be another one for Mango to just beat. So this was
Yeah.
absolutely massive. Easy S.
Yeah, Mango was he hadn't lost anything for the previous 2 years, and it was getting to the point where he was sandbagging at tournaments and still winning.
And this is ROM 2, which ROM 1, debatably, Mango beating Mewtwo King there is the biggest upset of all time. And this
So there
is
you
he's
go.
trying to reprise, you know, he's trying to back-to-back win ROMs. It's supposed to be Mango's tournament. And not
Yeah.
only does he lose to Kage, he loses to him twice.
Twice.
And that sweeps
And
away
it's
the whole
Ganon.
discussion of who's going to win between, you know, is Mango going to win again, or is Mewtwo King going to win? Or whatever we were saying back then.
Yep.
Lovage over Leffen at GT Expo 2017.
Oof.
But
This
here's
one was
where,
also
you know,
pretty crazy, honestly.
Massive upset.
With the
It's
wait,
over.
he's got to go for
It's
that.
over.
Go
This
for
is
it,
a
bro.
practiced
It's over.
Leffen and
It's
like
over.
a
Go
very
for
washed
It's over.
It's over.
Lovage.
Yeah.
Damn.
Three stocked. Game 3.
Damn. Lavage.
Hey, there's scars.
That was nuts.
Washed up SSBM commentator.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he's washed, bro. He was looking clean if he's washed.
It's an upset in its own moment. Like, this one's difficult. This is like a black
A.
hole of an upset.
I think A. It only exists in its
Lovage is confused as it's
singularity.
happening, right?
Yeah,
Leffen kind
was
of
bizarre.
bounces.
You know what it is? It's like an alternate timeline that like seeped into ours. I
We
watched.
hit a tangent.
So okay, do I think that this meets my criteria of what I think is an S tier upset, where I think it influences and shapes and impacts the narrative in this huge way? No, but it was a huge in terms of like disparity between how good the guy losing was and how good the guy who got the win was. This might be one of the biggest. So
Yeah.
I think it's A.
Yeah, everyone was talking about this one.
Definitely everyone's
It
gonna
did-
talk about it.
It didn't
Can't be
feel
lower than an A.
earth-shattering.
Can't be
It
lower
didn't-
than that.
I don't really know why it didn't feel earth-shattering, but it was very, very surprising. So yeah, this feels like an A for me.
Swedish
Okay.
versus
We've got
Armada.
Swedish Delight
Wow.
over
Oh.
Armada, Apex 2018.
This is big.
Yeah.
This is really big.
You know, hard
Shit.
How can you tech chase in this situation?
Yeah,
It's so
dude.
impressive.
And he gets a forwarder. Great tech from Armada.
Oh,
That
man.
drill was. This is. Oh!
Wait a second, he's still alive.
Okay, goes low, gets the side B, and he misses his ledge dash.
I'm getting nervous watching this now. Wow.
Yeah.
Swedish beats Armada 2-1.
Oh my God, the first play.
Is that Lovage on the-
Silent
Oh,
Spectre in 2012, not in the top 6 to beat Armada.
That's nuts.
I think of that set as the set that broke Armada. The history of the game and how training resources became really prominent, like a really short amount of time before that set. And it was one of the first major, I feel, tech skill infusions like into the scene as a whole, where people were playing like god level melee when they were considered A tier players, so to speak. I think this is a huge upset, both in its time and as something that I felt changed, a harbinger of change. You know what I mean? A future change to come. I think this is an S tier upset. Swedish
I think-
Delight over Armada.
Okay, I think Armada, like, up until this moment, right, he had only lost to, like, the gods and
He was immortal.
up in Leffen or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
I think that Swedish beating Armada, yeah, I think it symbolically opened the gate. It opened the floodgates for, I think, there would have been other people. Like, I think Wizzy would have beaten him. I don't know. I think people like Johnny probably would have started beating him. Or J-Mooks, right? The field just came up in a major way. And I think that, I almost wonder if I want to put this one higher or lower because of that. Like, do I think that this is less of a sign of the times or more of a sign of the times because Armada quit? I don't know.
Regardless of whatever was going to happen afterwards, like Scar was saying, if you look at it from the past, I think it's just undeniable how huge of a deal it was. Because he hadn't lost in so long to just so many people, and even then it was still really close. The Swedish still had to scrape for it. Certainly emblematic of some of the times, kind of like what you're saying. Do I have sort of my own view on various things for Armada for that year? Yes, but narratively speaking, you really can't argue about how just massive of an impact that was.
Damn, what are you feeling, Bobby? I'm gonna say
I
something
give it
wild.
an S. I give it an S. You can give it an A if you want, but I give it an S.
Are you ready for some you ready for me to say something crazy?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to say B.
Yeah, I was gonna say B.
On what basis? I don't understand.
I know. No, I know. On the basis that
That you're Mafia.
I just wasn't that surprised to see Swedish Delight beat Armada. I just wasn't that surprised. I was like, Swedish is fucking good, and like people are catching up. But historically speaking, yeah, this is an S.
What do you want the record to show?
Because
of
I'm
your
way
judgment,
right.
Toph?
So I don't know. I could take.
You're
the
gonna be
average
on
and say A.
record. You're gonna
I
be
could
on
take
record.
the average and I could say A.
What
But
do you
okay,
think
we
the
can put it
YouTube
S.
commenters are gonna say?
My brain wants to say S. My heart wants to say B. Bobby wants to say S.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming out to an A individually, and then I think you take my A, Bobby's S, and you can round up and call it an S.
Okay.
There you go.
Next one, we've got Silent Spectre beating Armada.
Speak of which.
Down 4.
Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil.
I didn't even pay attention to this. This isn't even legal,
That's crazy. That's true. This is 0.9.
right? That shouldn't have comboed. Is 0.9 that makes them floatier or less floaty?
Good question.
What is?
I think it
0.9?
makes you heavier, like more metal.
Heavier. Yeah.
I think Armada was saying more stuff comboed on him than he expected. So however that works.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're gonna
More
say
metal.
that. You're gonna say that. So this is weird, right? Because it's like the complete opposite of the last one. Historically groundbreaking. No one had really done it besides manga, players of that caliber. On the flip side, it wasn't in a way that I think the Swedish set was the start of what would have been an era if Armada kept playing. I don't think this was that, right? This happened. This was a blip in time. This was more like the Lovage Leffen.
This one was hype because Silent Spectre was the star of Brandon's YouTube channel, and everyone was so juiced on this guy. So I think just for how juiced people were and how surprising it still was, given how Armada had like Scar said, taken everyone's expectations away, beating M2K on FD. No one thought he was. I don't think people really thought he was Silent Spectre was gonna win. So I'm A at worst, but I'm down to give this an S. Honestly, this is a big one in terms of just how everyone felt about it, how strong it was, and It honestly only got more impressive over time if you want to look at it in the future perspective.
I'm into the angle that you know, in the way that the Swedish set was significant historically, this one kind of wasn't. It was more of a blip in time, like the Lovage one.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm down to just default to an A for that
down-
reason.
If you guys are A, I'm A.
Here we go. None beats M2K Gommel 2016.
We can start talking, right? We can start talking now. This is S,
That
right?
I didn't think it was.
I lost my mind.
First of all, that Forward Smash is fraudulent.
Forward Smash is so crazy.
Easily going to be in the top 5 sets of the year.
Dang, look at
Incredible.
M2K.
Congratulations to None from Nicaragua.
I can't.
I have officially killed my voice over that set.
I can't.
It's S, right? I just think
I
down
didn't
for
think
us.
it was possible.
it was
for
10
a
years
fa-
of Mute
that-
King. 10 years of Mute King beating every Falcon.
Clowning on every Falcon. Every Falcon. Dark Rain,
No
I don't think
exceptions.
ever beat Mewtwo King.
No.
I don't know
The last-
anybody who beat Mewtwo King with Falcon. A massive upset.
Massive upset.
And I do
And-
think that history for Falcon anyway, you know, for many characters has shown that the game is more open than we previously thought, where we would say things absolutely like Falcon just can't beat this person or this character.
Yeah, I'm down. I think it was absolutely crazy. It was exciting. He did it in a cool way. The
On his
energy
home
of it-
turf. It was
Yeah.
in Canada, you know. And then he sits there nonchalantly as all of his friends get really excited. You know, it's got all the makings of.
Yeah.
And it paved the way for everybody else. And he repeated it. Oh, this is also an S.
Next, we've got Chillin beating Ken. Game over.
In my opinion, this is the quintessential upset.
Yeah, this needs to shift everything else to the right.
Yeah, this is like the nice. Oh, yes.
I love this.
That's
That's mind game.
Mind game, dude.
Yes.
Wow.
Dude, Ked just wasn't losing to people and he just lost. That's huge.
I had a file on my computers called Ken Defeated.mp4 because you had to download videos back then. Defeated was in all caps. And yeah, I think this is an S. This is like the quintessential.
And if you dig back into the, you know, the treasure trove of past history and you look for the answer of who was it who finally defeated Ken, what esteemed name, you know, what dominant player, whose name must it have been?
The rap
Yeah.
guy.
You open up the box and it says, Chillin' Dude, 829, the rap guy, who the My B guy. So that's a massive upset every which way you slice it. And I do
And he
think
was
that it's so
TOing this
big.
early.
No
that's
way.
crazy.
Well, there you
He
go.
was TOing. Yeah, he wrote a long thing about the history of it and how they did paper brackets and how he was running that and then he also had to play. No, yeah, he was TOing too.
The
That
best
was
player while TOing of all time with Chillin'
That's
Dude.
crazy.
Yeah, I think this upset's so big that you have to shift everything else to the right.
Massive for the community at the
Yeah,
time.
definitely S.
All right, we got Professor Pro beating HBox Paragon LA 20.
Moving extremely well.
Oh my goodness! All right,
Xbox
it's gonna be
was
it.
really
Can he do
popping
it?
at this
So
time,
close.
so
All right,
this
one
is not
up
too
throw
big of a
upper,
one for me.
one up throw upper, one up tilt. It's gonna do it. Up smash
There it is.
by Prof. Prof taking it.
Prof.
Over.
Yeah, this did happen, which is pretty cool. But you can already see from the people clapping behind, you know, they're a little impressed. But HBox wasn't, like you said, he wasn't so dominant.
No,
Yeah, it's an upset. But
he lost to
it's-
Lovage that year too. I think he lost to some other people. I think he lost to Lucky that year, maybe.
Maybe this is like a time, when it
Lucky
still was
beat him.
possible for HBox
Yeah.
to lose to Foxes.
It's not like he lost all the time, but it
No.
happened a little bit that
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
If this was during Clutch God era, I think this goes up a lot for
It goes up
sure.
a little bit at least, yeah. But
But
it's
this
like
was
a
not
C or a
Clutch
D.
God era. Yeah, I'm feeling C.
Maybe D.
Yeah, I'm kind of D. What are you thinking, Scar?
Yeah, give it a D.
All right, next
All right.
one we have
Next
Todd
one.
beating Mango at Genesis 2.
Oh, sick!
This was cool. This was big, but and it wasn't a game for
Taj beating,
That's it. Todd beat him. Swear.
at this event, Taj beat PPFD as well,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
So this was just a weird event, in my opinion. Like, I don't really even know how to think about this event and upsets, if I'm being honest, because it just
Genesis
felt
2
to
was
me like
super
things
weird.
were all over the place.
It was interesting because Mango had been sandbagging for a while, but this tournament he was like, "No, I'm gonna
Genesis.
take this one serious. This is
Yeah.
Genesis." It was exciting because it was first time since Pound 4. So we're going like a year and a half. Finally was going to take this one serious. So this was a big deal. And then Taj, yeah, he beat me as well. And he beat some other people on the way. And he was able to beat Mango too. He sets himself up for playing Mewtwo versus Peach in Winners Finals, which didn't really do anything for him. But I think it set the stage for the Mango Taj run back to be pretty crazy. And
Yeah.
Taj ended up, it
and
was
Mango
interesting.
messed him up with
And he
Fox.
did.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do think that the power of this upset is somewhat diminished because of the fact that unfortunately they played again, not
they
2
did.
hours later, and Mango beat the brakes off of him.
I think this is a C. I think it's not Prof Pro HBox tier where it's kind of like,
I agree.
You know, that's almost not even that weird. But
Yeah, but you gotta give
still an
Taj. Taj had a crazy Cinderella run. I mean, I gotta at least give it. It's gotta at least have a B.
I'm feeling more B territory. I could even be argued to A.
I could be argued to A as well.
Yeah.
No shot, not A. I think B
Alright.
top, B maximally.
AMSA beating M2K, Kings of
You don't mean MLG, you mean Evo.
He doesn't. Are we gonna witness
It was Evo?
Amsa taking
Okay,
a
yeah.
set
That was
of
Evo. One of the gods.
one of the gods of the game? Don't get too impatient.
Oh, hey, that's
Amsa.
Scar.
Jabs.
The egg. Oh, that's it!
Oh!
This was a big deal.
Amsa takes it. He
Yeah,
does a
Dennis Hubbard was
Shoryu
yelling
in
7th place
celebration.
loudly behind him.
Mewtwo
Wow.
dejectedly
Mewtwo made a
unplugging
whole
his
Reddit
controller.
Meat King looks really disappointed. Yeah. AMSA
There's
playing
Blur.
like a
Oh
freaking
my
beast.
Wow.
This was great, and I really started AMSA just that upward trajectory with a character that hadn't done it to this degree at all before. It was close. I don't remember if it was best of 3 or not, but I'm not gonna lie to you,
Best
I
of
don't
5.
really care. It was best of 5. That's crazy.
Yeah, to me this
That's
is
sick.
S. Bobby, do you think this was the biggest upset you've ever commentated? Gotta be, right?
Yeah, in fact, I didn't even remember it until watching it right now and like putting myself in, remembering what it felt like. I was in utter disbelief. Yoshi also is just not a great character, and
Right.
AMSA in Japan, he again doesn't have access to the same like training resources as somebody like Mewtwo King, and yeah, I could not believe that a Yoshi could beat Mewtwo King. Like if you told me that and AMSA, you know what I mean? I couldn't dream AMSA's existence. Like his existence itself is an upset.
Yeah.
And what's the opposite? He's overcome tremendous odds to exist.
Yeah.
This is an easy S for me.
Easy.
It's just so viscerally shocking.
I'm down.
It's like it like
Yoshi.
embodies
It's
an upset.
fucking Yoshi.
If we're talking about the Pantheon, this one might be
Yeah,
it.
actually.
2 more. We got Fizzwiggle beating Mango at Genesis 8.
Tries to catch the
soon.
jump off the
Too
laser.
soon!
I haven't even seen this yet.
Down air, Mango.
It is a big
Kind of
one.
haven't.
Also, Fizzwiggle has been having really good DI on Mango's down airs. No, he really does. Oh, no combo, no tech chase.
Yeah, Fizzwiggle drops that one.
Can we get Zeke to talk about this one
close right now.
while he's
Oh,
here?
That's a hard knockdown. And the forward
Yep.
air. He's off stage. That actually just.
This is Colorado
That's it.
representation.
That's
This
it.
is my
Fizzwiggle.
hometown.
Yeah, can you talk about this a little bit, Zeke? Can you
Yes.
talk about Fizz? Tell us
Yes.
about Fizz.
So when I left Colorado to move to SoCal,
Yeah.
Fizz was like on the rise in Colorado. He was like super grindy. He's like really good at chess. Was very high elo in chess. And he was just like, yeah, I've played chess for like 10, 12 years of my life. And he was like 18 at the time. And then a year after I moved away, he was #1 in Colorado. He even like took it over Cyrox and stuff. He just never
nice.
really traveled. So, I mean, he's been good for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we were ever like, Fizz is going to be beat Mango at a super major good. But then here we are. Crazy.
The fact that his name is Fizz, somehow Fizz beats Mango is like respectable. Okay, Mango lost to Fizz. Like, okay,
Fizz.
that's,
He's
Fizz,
gotta be good.
Can't lose to a guy named Fizzwiggle.
There's
That
a
makes it
wiggle.
20
does
times
change
as
it.
bad.
It
20
does.
times.
Well, do you want more lore? He used to go by Fizz, just Fizz.
Yeah.
He
And then
added
once-
the wiggle?
Yeah, once Slippy popped off, everyone started mistaking him for Fizzy.
Oh.
And so he was like, oh, well, that's not me. That's the guy who saved Melee. So you should probably...
We deferred to.
Yeah, so he's like, I'll just... Yeah, which is respectable, but also like...
Yeah, no,
you know.
it is.
Everyone is just so good now. I feel like that's just my feeling. I feel like we'll see more upsets as time goes on like this. People who are net play warriors or really good in their region but haven't, this exact Fizzwiggle situation. But this was definitely a shocking event as it happened, and it dominated the discussion for that day.
I'm gonna say C, maybe B, probably more like C. It's not a D. It's not like Prof HBox is like, yeah, that's just understandable at that. It's not even that much of an upset. This is definitely an upset. Fizz beating Mango.
Yeah.
Number 1 or number 2 in the world. Yeah, that's definitely an upset. But it's like, it's not earth-shattering in that way.
I put it in my C, which is your B.
Wait, what? Sorry. Hang on,
Everything
I
got shifted. The
take
chilling
issue
Ken.
with that. I take issue with that. Why is your
I'm
C
just
my
saying,
B?
because when I said that Chillin' Ken was an S, I actually created an S plus category that's to the left of all of your previous S's.
Yeah, but that was a one-time shift.
No,
right?
it was a permanent shift. It shifted everything else to the right. As I said.
But now I'm not putting but I'm putting it in like there's like in my head there's a platonic ideal of what a C tier thing is.
It's defined by
C-tier.
Magi Mango. It's the one at the top. For you, you're indexing Magi Mango is a B.
No.
And so I'm saying Fizz Mango
That's
is
not
there.
what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, what do
I'm
you
saying
think
there is
Magi
a
Mango is? Is it a
platonic
B or is it a
ideal of
C? What do you think, Kevin?
I think Magi Mango.
I think enough has been said. There's nothing I could possibly add any further.
I think you think it
Well,
should
put
be
it this
B
way,
tier.
PP. Do you think this set is like the same level of upset as Magi Mango, Taj Mango?
I think it's more of an upset than those because I just never heard of this guy, and you've heard of those other people before.
Okay, and Toph is out here saying C tier, Kevin.
Yeah, because
that's
people
not
are
my take,
so good. People are so good that I'm less surprised at Fizz beating Mango in 2022 than I
That's
am
fair,
at.
but
Kevin says
Mango was
A,
also
I
really
say
consistent
D.
before that.
Well, you can put it in our B tier, but for me, it's in my C tier, and I don't like my C tier being called a B tier. I feel like my C tier is a strongly, and if I may add, a respectfully established C tier that should be treated as such.
I think that's fair. I'll reconsider my wording next time.
It can
Toph.
go into our B tier.
My
PP, if you like.
apologies.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's all I ask.
Whatever will make everyone happy is what I have decided for this
I
one.
can do
Okay,
B
let's
or
do-
A with
let's
this
do B,
one.
let's
This
do
could
B,
definitely
let's
be
do
an
B,
A.
Let's do B.
Zane beats Plup at Pig House 6.
Oh shit! With the SpongeBob lunchbox.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that, right? Oh god.
Yo, nice forward smash.
Yeah, that was a wow.
I like that.
That was definitely Vish, right? That sounded a lot like Vish.
Oh, I
I
think,
think that was some Virginian. I don't think that was even Vish. I think that was some guy from his region.
Yeah, I think it was more
Zane
likely
beats
just one of his
Plup.
homies. It's weird because I don't think like it gets talked about much, but I do think narratively speaking, it was probably a big deal because it was really surprising. I certainly expected Plup to handle Zane.
This is almost like a slightly more modern version of like Armada M2K or something, where it's like you've got a guy who's extremely good, who's losing to somebody who you're surprised, but then time goes on and then you look back and you're like, well, that guy actually, as it turns out, had some stuff.
Yeah, but I don't even know if Zane did as well at Plup at tourneys for a little bit even past this. So I think it was very surprising because of the ranks and even with Zane's trajectory, I think it took him a while to catch up to Plup there. So really just surprising all around. I'm feeling B-ish just because the only reason is people don't really talk about it too much now.
People don't talk about it too much.
People don't really get floored by it. Maybe that's the only footage we have is shaky cam. I don't know.
I almost wonder if the reason people don't talk about it that much, though, is because Zane just got really good. And he started, soon after this happened, he gave us much more to talk about. Right?
Yeah.
Sure, and maybe that's just on Zane. Maybe if he had just chilled out a little bit, this would be higher. I don't know.
I'll put it in B.
I
think that's where it goes for me.
I'm down for B, but I recognize that our Bs are a little different, but all the same.
Our Bs.
Yeah.
It's like a B or like an A, but I think if you're both saying B, let's do B. So let's cut to the chase. Is it Chillin' Ken or is it Amsamutu King? That's the question.
Tell me why that's a question for you, Toph. Tell me more.
I just think that out of our S tier upsets, Chillin' Ken, Amsamutu King, Nunmutu King, Swedish Armada, Kage Mango, I think that the two, in my opinion, the two that rise above, and I see that they are the two that you have also put in your S tier, Bobby, are Chillin' Ken and Amsamutu King. So I think those have to be the two best.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Kage Mango shook the world. I don't think I'm gonna argue you guys into that. I'm down to just leave it. But for me, that one was
No, you've already incepted it into my. That
I mean,
thought is already
I would be
taken root.
happy to consider those three, and we'll have those three before us because all three of them have some personal meaning for me. For me, Kage Mango aesthetically is the most like beautiful, memorable, tickling, touching upset of all time in Melee. I do go back in my free time to watch that stomp. Chillin' Ken, for historical reasons, I feel like it's just such a massive upset. It's the proto upset. But for my money, if I had to show someone what an upset could look like in Super Smash Bros. Melee, I would send them a best of 5 between Amsa and Mewtwo King to show them this is the upset, the one that stands in the pantheon.
And so what, in your opinion, sets Amsa M2K apart from the other two? He's
such a fearsome competitor. He's such a destructive player. He really can break players apart, and having a Yoshi beat Mewtwo King, where Mewtwo King can counterpick so many different characters and play them so amazingly well. Yeah, I don't think that I'll ever have that feeling again. Like this set that we're about to see is a foregone conclusion, and it just unfolds opposite to my expectation the whole way through.
Amsa M2K was just so was absolutely, it sent shockwaves around the community in its own right. So if you guys are 100% down and you feel like that's kind of just the quintessential thing when you think what really surprised everyone, right? We're talking, legacy years and years. M2K never lost to a Yoshi, kind of the same thing we were talking about with None, but the character is even worse. This guy doesn't have as good a practice, and the set ends up being still really close, but M2K has to switch and all this other stuff to try and keep it close just because this guy's worked so hard. I mean, that's exciting. That's an exciting thing to think about, and so I'm down. Amsa M2K. I'm here for it if you guys are here for it.
I'm here for it.
Are we gonna witness Amsa taking a set off of
one of the guys? We get to hear Scar again. Nice.
Don't get too impatient, Amsa. Jabs.
You're so right, bro. The juxtaposition from the commentary game 1 to game 4 is
Amsa takes it. He does a Shoryuken in celebration.
And Blur's there.
Mewtwo King dejectedly
and Blur's there. And Menace W's there.
Mewtwo King looks
yelling
really
7th
disappointed.
place.
I like how these dinosaurs look like they're worshiping the larger dinosaur.
Yeah, they might be. I think that happened, right? In Dinosaur Hierarchy? Nah, probably not. That probably never happened.
We can think that it did, though. And I like to think of a world where that's the case.
When the small dinosaurs grouped together to take down the big one, that was probably one of the biggest upsets in dinosaur history.
Yeah, that's an upset, usually. Or is it? I don't know.
I guess it depends on how it usually turns out, right? I guess that's what upsets are.
Yeah, and we don't know. We don't know.